Afternoon or evening. Good day to you, I guess. I am working on an interesting analysis that I wanted to hop on and share of a multifamily property north of here in Delaware. So, this is Columbus, Ohio. It's a multifamily search I have set up for myself in the MLS. And so I just kind of go through and pick through properties and see any that pop out at me. I have it listed as on expireds. And so this ends up being a 15 unit. We can take a look at it here. Or I have it opened up here too. So there's a 15 unit, kind of like farmhouse type deal that it looks like they added some buildings to. So pretty interesting. But then the other thing that's interesting is, I'm not sure if you can see this over here, but there's 5 acres adjacent to it. That is available separately. So this is like the house and the 3 buildings here with the 15 units on it. This is almost 5 acres, and there's another 5 acres that looks like it's available. So that's why it's intriguing to me. It looks like the other listing previously that also either got taken down or something like that, or that ended up expiring. This didn't get sold, but they had it listed for $2.2 million all combined, and then it looks like the newer listing that ended up expiring was just the 4.82 acres, and then the 501 is additional if you want it. I assume they want 2.2. Couple things to note: this is on a sewer and a well, which I'm not sure if I like or I don't like at this point. Just from a property management standpoint, so I'd want to understand the development implications of that for putting anything up here on the 5 acres, understand a little bit more about what that takes from the city and from the town of Delaware, because this is on Route 42. Route 42 is a major highway going up to Delaware. It connects kind of Plain City area, Dublin, this whole region kind of up to Delaware. This is near a huge industrial park. I actually used to work at a fiberglass factory in that industrial park, so that's why it's intriguing to me. So anyway, let's hop into the numbers. This listing, oh my god, sorry, I'm zooming out, Jesus. They provided all the numbers here. So they gave 2018, 2019, all the way back to 2016 expenses, and then they gave some current kind of rent roll. So I compiled that here just so you don't have to look through it. So this is the building, how it breaks out. These are the current rents and kind of what their occupancies are, along with the bedrooms. And so they have a big house, a building A, a building B, and a townhouse building. The townhouse building is mostly empty. I'm not sure, like one is for the maintenance guy, but then 2 other units are empty, but then the owner also lives on the property in the house, so that unit's empty. So this could be a pretty substantial like house hack situation if you wanted to do it. But anyway, so it's currently only occupied at 66.6%. With an annualized gross revenue of $75,360. So when you put that into the price that they're asking for of $79,900, and if you average out expenses over the trailing 4 years, you're looking at about 58 grand in expenses on average. 2019 was a fairly high year of expenses for them. I think they did some major repairs, it looked like, on the well. So this could be an outlier since this average expenditure is only, let's see here. Let's do average of the first 3 years. Shit, what the hell's going on here? Equals average of these 3. So it's only 54, so it's about 4 grand. So it's not a terrible difference. We're going to leave it there for that average because you never know. But that ends up being an NOI of $13,000 because the occupancy is only 66%. So that's what's killing them. So if you were to pay for the investment right now, what it's producing, and you were to pay full price, from my numbers, it's trading at a 1.5 cap, which is kind of ridiculous to ask that. If you kind of up the rents to sort of where the market's at, and don't up anything else, meaning don't bring any of the other kind of lower rented apartments up to market value. Just kind of fill in market value where there is vacancy. Just doing that brings you up to a 7.5 cap. So that's nice, but like I also don't think for the middle of nowhere, Delaware, Ohio, in an industrial area, you should have to pay a 7.5 cap for a 15 unit. That needs some work. So I think that's a little pricey, is basically what I'm saying. But I'm still interested in the property. It still seems cool. It seems like it has a lot of potential. But like with anything, it only has potential if you can get it for the right price. So I guess that's after looking at the numbers. It makes sense for location wise, for the right usage. But for just kind of immediate returns, it doesn't look that great at the current price. I mean, let's see if we drop this thing down to, let's call it 600K. You're almost at a 10 cap. Like that makes a little more sense. But you're really paying a little bit here for the land. It's a big chunk of land, and if you could get it, like if you could get for 800, if you could get that and then land next to it, that makes some sense. Like I'd take the hit on the cap rate for getting the land next to it. I don't think they'll want to sell that land for that cheap. So that would kind of be where I'd go if I found a buyer that was kind of interested in this, kind of intrigued. I just reach out. I'd be reaching out to the listing agent and just trying to understand kind of what's going on, what they're looking for, and to understand what they're doing. So, yeah, that was my deal today that I went through, that I looked through, that I ran the numbers on. It was right up here off of 42 in Delaware. So, if this interests you, let me know. I'd be happy to share the numbers, share the listing with you, see if we can't track something down. And otherwise, I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you like the way I run my numbers. And if you have any feedback, reach out. And cheers. We'll see you in the next one.